Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another knife review for you. Today we have the TuyaKnife Kingsman. This is a knife that I saw in pictures and thought, wow, that thing looks great. I really want one. I really like TuyaKnife. They've always been really cool to me, and I've reviewed a lot of their other higher-end knives. They're known more, I guess, for their budget stuff, but they make some really nice high-end stuff. The Thorax I really liked. The Envy was fantastic. I missed the boat on the Hive. A lot of people I really respect really love that knife. And this is their new flagship model, I guess you'd call it. $258, and you're getting a whole lot of bang for your buck for $258. TuyaKnife is a Chinese company, but if you are dealing with them here in America, you're going to deal with Dave and Rebecca Warren. Awesome people. TuyaKnifeUS.com. They have a URL that's easier to get to now, and just great people to deal with. So don't think you got to deal with some of these other, Chinese companies. You got to deal with going back and forth. You don't. It's just very nice American Southern couple you just call up and you deal with, and they have awesome customer service. Great company. So I like to support them. It's kind of a small, even though it's a larger company, it's kind of a small business here in the U.S., and they're great people to support. So I was very happy to get my hands on one. So I went over to the Tuya booth, picked this up, and yeah, the pictures didn't do it justice. I was very impressed by this. I passed it around to a lot of other YouTubers I was hanging out and reviewers I was hanging out with. To a person, every one of them was very, very impressed with it. I know at least one of them went and bought one. It is just a very well done knife. For $258, you are getting a lot of bang for your buck. Full titanium frame lock, really nice carbon fiber inlays, very well done carbon fiber. We'll talk more about that in just a moment. This particular one, it's M390 blade in all of them, but this particular one is the hand-rubbed version. You're not going to see it on the site currently, but they'll have those back in stock in a couple weeks. It's an extra like 15 or 20 bucks for the hand-rub. But even the regular machine, honestly, the machine satin finish honestly looks just as good, but it's just different. It's got, the different, the textures going different ways. It's still very pretty. I just chose the hand-rub because it was available there at Blade Show, and I wanted it. So I got that. But yeah, really fine machining, excellently well done. I'm going to bring out a few more knives here because I think TuyaKnife, you don't think of them in the same vein as I think a lot of people don't think of them in the same vein as, your Wii or your Best Tech or Riyadh or stuff like that. They're just as good. I'm going to bring it out. The quality wise, you're looking at, this is a Best Tech malware. Yeah, all the machining and stuff on this is just as good, if not better, than the Best Tech is. We'll bring out a couple of Wii's here. One doesn't say Wii on it, but I assure you that it is. This is a Boost Blades Smoke. As you know, Wii does a whole lot of contract work for people. So you put it against a Best Tech Smoke or the Wii Schism. This is the only other high-end Wii I have here. And all the machining and stuff is just as good. It really is. I can't really fault anything. The hardware is a bit nicer on the Wii's, I will say, and on the Riyadhs and stuff. The hardware is a bit nicer, but yeah, Wii has amazing hardware. It's almost kind of unfair to compare to the Wii as far as hardware goes, but as far as other quality things, it's just as nice. I'm going to bring out another knife that doesn't say Riyadh on it, but it is made by Riyadh under contract. This is the Chavez Ultramar 229. I bring this one out specifically because, and again, quality-wise, at first glance, the only thing you see is the hardware is a bit nicer on these. But this is $375, $258. But the hand rub, both of these are hand rubbed, and I can't tell a difference. It looks just as nice. It looks just as nice in the Tuya as it does in the Riyadh, which is the Chavez, which is made by Riyadh. Very, very, very impressive as far as the finish goes. Another thing to bring out, I'm going to bring out, this is quote unquote just a production Spyderco, but this is some of the nicest carbon fiber that I actually have in my collection right now. And when you compare it to the carbon fiber here, yeah, I'm not seeing much of a quality difference. Still excellent. It's just an extremely well built, beautifully built knife. It's very, very nice, and all the fit and finish is just perfect on it. You're getting excellent lockup, excellent blade centering, just all that stuff you'd expect. It's extremely well made, and it's just a very, very pretty design. Let's do your stats and size comparisons before we get too much farther on. I think I've gone on long enough about that. We have an overall length of 8.5 inches, blade length of 3.55 inches, blade thickness 0.145 inches, just a little bit under 0.15, and you have a handle thickness of 0.525 inches, and a weight of dead on exactly 3.5 ounces according to my scale. Not bad at all for a knife this size with this much fancy pants titanium and stuff done to it. Pretty happy with that weight, I do have to say. We're just going to do a couple of quick size comparisons because I kind of already did some there. We're just going to do it between our usual Spyderco sandwich. You have your Spyderco Para 3. Trying to line them up by the pivots here. And your Spyderco PM2. So you can see it's a little longer than the PM2, but much more slender. Really good kind of EDC sort of size. Even though I'm not really sure you'd call this your typical EDC knife, but because it is very fancy pants, but it works very, very well for that. Let's talk about the most important part of the knife, the blade. Pretty happy with this one. It is M390. There has been some talk about M390 in China and HRCs and all that stuff. I did talk to Dave at Tuya about this. The Kingsman has tested at right around 60. They're claiming a range of 59 to 62. The few they pulled out tested right about 60 HRC. So if you're an HRC person, you really care about that. And I have every confidence they wouldn't lie about that. If you followed the whole controversy that's going on, you would know that TuyaKnife is definitely a company that does not, that they're pretty upfront about that stuff. So yeah, we're looking at about 60 HRC. Pretty thin behind the edge. Looking at it at first, I thought that would be the downfall of this. And even when I picked it up at Blade Show, I thought, it does feel kind of thin behind the edge, but it's probably not going to be that great. And I thought that would kind of be the downfall of it. I thought it's going to be a beautiful knife that cuts okay, but not that great. No, it's 16 thousandths behind the edge on this primary grind. You can see it's kind of, this multi-grind, compound grind. And it's only about 20 thousandths up here by the tip with a different grind. Not bad at all. Razor sharp out of the box. It's very well done. It has a very nice micro bevel that's super even, so sharpening shouldn't be too much of a big deal. Yeah, the blade stock's not horribly thick. It's actually a really good slicer, a very good piercer. I mean, look at the tip on this sucker. For being such a fancy looking knife, really cool. I really do like the blade on this. It's been a pleasure to use. As far as ergonomics go, also excellent. Just enough jimping in just the right place for my particular thumb. This this kind of aquatic looking texture, I guess the best way to describe it, does actually help you get some grip on it. No hot spot from this clip at all. No hot spot from back here, at least on my hands. Yeah, it's really good ergonomically. It is a thin, slim handle. This is kind of a more gentlemanly design, so it doesn't fill your hand like, a Manix 2 or something like that, or a PM2, but pretty good. As far as the carry goes, also, it's good. I shouldn't say also, because it's good. It's not great. The carry on it does stick up a little bit. Not crazily so, but it's a milled pocket clip. The only thing I wonder on this knife, and this is really kind of one of my only nitpicks of it, is why isn't the clip attached there? So it dropped down farther. You got a bolt there. Yeah, that's just me. But as far as once it's in the pocket, it's pretty slim. It does have a flipper tab that does stick out, but you barely notice it because it's such a slim knife. Nothing sharp to catch your hands on. Totally easy to get your hand in and out of the pocket. Yeah, that's my only question, is why is the clip not located there so it drops down a little bit lower? That's being pretty nitpicky, but yeah, that's my biggest nitpick with it. As far as the action goes, D10 is awesome. I have torn this apart and lubed it, but I have not adjusted anything. Snaps right out. As I said, the lockup is very good. It does have a lock bar insert, all that kind of stuff that you'd expect. And yeah, super smooth. Super smooth. It's a great. The action on it is just great. It's not quite in the addicting range, but you can see it from where you're standing. It's pretty close to being just a completely addictive knife as far as that goes. So yeah, overall conclusion on this knife, I mean, you're getting really cool stuff. You're getting the really cool box it comes in. As far as just checking the box as far as material goes, it already looks like a bargain. And then when you take into account how well it's made and just the looks of the thing, fantastic value for 258 bucks. I can't knock it. I really can't. I'm very excited to own it. It's one that's definitely going to stick around for a while. It's something I'm definitely not in a hurry to get rid of. Just a very well done design from these guys, and I can't wait to see more. I know, talking to Dave, there's some other stuff coming up from TuyaKnife. So don't discount TuyaKnife as a good manufacturer of higher end pocket knives, because they really are. They have some cool designs coming up. Oh, by the way, this is I forgot to mention, this is a Chen Hui design. I think this is the first one that they've designed with him. This is if this is his first one, I'm impressed. I'm eager to see what's coming out next. Yeah, it's just a pretty thing. But the only flaw I have is just wish the pocket clip was up there instead of over there, and that's a really tiny thing. But because you can see, it wouldn't make that much difference. But I just don't see why it isn't. Yeah. And these, if you want to be really super picky, this milling in the blade doesn't do anything other than weight relief. You can't thumb flick it or spidey flick it or anything if you're looking at that and thinking that you can. But really great knife. I really am eager to see more of what they're going to do. I've heard that there's a new Envy coming. I'm excited to see that. And check out TuyaKnife if you have not yet before. They're linked down below. They didn't pay me to do this. I bought this and all that stuff. But check them out down below. I've been Brian. Have a good one.